Showtime exclusive presentation.
You're looking very well. Hello. How are you doing, sir? Hey, you guys know what this is all about?
No, you?
Weena? No.
Hello, Alex.
Morning.
Wall to wall. What's this all about?
All I know is I got a telegram just like everybody else here. President requested, main boardroom, 12 noon, signed Ben Roselli, first president, American Bank.
Vice president's the bookkeepers. There's old Pop Monroe. He's been here forever.
Oh, here.
Oh, I was showing you these key charge cards.
Now, how about that? Could you tell the counterfeit?
No way. Usually, you can tell by the quality of the plastic, but with these, they're exactly alike.
Well, they ought to be. They're made from authentic plastic sheets stolen from our supplier last month. Thieves broke into a strong room where the finished sheets were kept.
How many did they get?
300. And at 66 cards per sheet, you're talking close to 20,000 fraudulent cards.
Ooh. That could cost us a few dollars.
That could cost us $10 million minimum. Unless we do something fast. Unless you do something fast, pal.
Well, I've got a man working undercover. Should come up with something.
Light a fire under them, please. We're in trouble. Hey, how about a large fire, huh? Well, right now, we're in a bad position.
Meaning what?
Meaning a lot of people were opposed to my hiring Miller in the first place. They'd be very happy to let him go. Oh, look at this. Sherry.
Yes, sir. It's the Amontillado. Mrs. Dorsey?
No use passing up free booze, huh?
Thank you.
Mr. Roselli.
Hello. Ah, good to see you. Nice to see you. Hello. Glad you came. Hello. Fine. Hello. My old friend Jerome.
Hello, Ben.
Roscoe.
Hello, Ben.
Alex. How's your wife?
Oh, she's not too bad, thank you.
Edwina.
Mr. Roselli.
I'm glad you all could make it. Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Please make sure that everyone has a glass. Thank you, Nolan. Now, this won't take long. So if you like, ladies and gentlemen, sit down.
Is it a celebration of some kind?
No, I'm afraid not, Jerome. It's just an occasion when I thought a drink might help. I wanted to tell you this myself. It's bad news, but it's really no worse than the news that winter is coming or that time is passing. For me, it seems that winter is almost here, my friends, and that my time is almost gone. Now, I called you all here together, my oldest friends, so that you could hear it from me. Now, not to put too fine a point on it, it seems that I'm dying. It's definite. But don't be embarrassed. Dying isn't a social error. Sometimes it's a grace of God. The doctors tell me I have cancer. The lungs. So now you know. As and when you choose, you can pass the word along to the others. It's all right, Jerry.
I guess you pretty much floored us all, Mr. Ben. We don't know what to say.
Now, Ben, doctors' opinions are by no means infallible. Medical science can achieve a great deal toward halting or even curing.
I've been all through that, Roscoe. As to doctors, I've had the best. I told you, it's definite.
Well, there's still a higher power than medicine. It's not unknown for God to show mercy.
Don't lecture me, Roscoe. I guess we can safely assume that God has already made up his mind in my case. If I had a living son, instead of an air medal in a box, I'd be passing this bank on to him now, as my father did to me and his father before him. But that wasn't to be. So who do I turn it over to? Jerry Patterton's retiring next year, and that leaves the other two senior executive vice presidents, Roscoe Hayward and Alex Vanderwart. Which will it be? I'm leaving it up to the board of directors to name the man who will be my successor, and I'm certain that they will choose wisely. And now, I'd like to shake hands with everyone. George. Roscoe. Edwina. Oh, thank you.
Ben?
Alex, remember me to see you.
I will.
Excuse me, ma'am. This window's closed. Miss Dreeston, Miles.
Thank you. Yes, Juanita, what can I do for you?
There's some money missing from my cash truck.
How much?
$6,000.
Now, let's go back over this. You see, I just got it briefly over the phone. Now, I understand you just realized the money was missing. How did you come to discover that?
I counted the cash in my drawer.
And you knew you were $6,000 short.
That's right.
You knew what your balance should be.
Yes,
You always know that figure?
within $1 or so.
You mean when you're handling $25,000, $30,000 a day, you always know what your cash balance should be within $1 or two?
Yes.
How do you manage that?
I don't know. I just do it.
Is that usual?
No, not that I know of.
Can you do that, Mr. Easton?
I have to tell you, Mr. Wainwright, I'm not too crazy about the way you're handling this.
And when did you say you last saw your husband?
What do you keep bringing your husband up for?
No particular reason, but just for the record. The simplest way for a teller to get a large sum of money out of a bank is to hand it to an accomplice. You know, just pass it over like a legitimate transaction.
Oh, is that what you're accusing her of?
I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but this is a federal bank, and sooner or later, probably sooner, the FBI is going to be brought in, and when that happens, it's out of my hands. And I suggest if you have anything to say, you tell me now, before the federal boys get here.
I didn't take the money, and I'm sick of these questions.
Well, you're going to get a damn sight sicker before the FBI is finished.
And I'm getting damn sick of these Gestapo tactics, Wainwright.
Easton, I've asked you, now I'm telling you, butt out.
I think we're all very tired, Mr. Wainwright.
Well, you're probably right, Mrs. Dorsey. We'll wrap it up for today.
My story will be the same tomorrow and the day after and the day after that.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll think of something you forgot.
I've told you the truth, all of it.
Then you won't mind taking a lie detector test, will you?
What?
Bank will arrange it. We have a man we've used before. I'll set it up.
No, I won't take such a test.
Why not?
Buster, call me Palabra. I take no test.
No, listen, I've talked to the storekeeper. He's willing to forget the whole thing. Thanks, Marty.
I'll be right with you, darling. Pablo, they're going to drop the charges. You can keep the jacket, but you've got to work it off here after school. Okay?
Muchas gracias, senora.
Senorita. Well, you can't win them all. Shall we?
I've got Jack Mitchell on the phone. Is there anything you want to tell him?
Yes, tell him unless he's in full compliance with the housing code, and I mean adequate heating in every one of these units by the first of the week, I'm going to sue his tail off. I'm on a fast track today.
You won't have to do it standing up.
Margot. Hey, senorita.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about Ben. Can't seem to get into my head. I remember talking to him last Christmas. There's so much he still wanted to do.
Yeah, a man like Ben Roselli deserves a better monument than this. Obsolete, inadequate.
What we need are more projects here, bigger and better.
We've got them. In the planning stage right now.
That's probably just where they're going to stay, too.
Not as long as I have something to say about it.
Will you?
And that depends.
On what?
It's going to be one hell of a power fight at the bank.
Oh, between you and Roscoe Hayward. How much of a chance do you have?
I don't know if I can get the majority of the board to see it my way. You know, profits are what banks are all about, but this kind of thing, long-term, low-yield, low-profit investment, don't look so hot on the balance sheet at the end of the year, but we got to have them.
For the good of the corporate souls,
For our survival. If banks are deaf to the signals people are putting out, we might start hearing when it's too late.
Hawthorne's, that charity business. You haven't changed your mind about going.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. I'll have something to eat a little later on my own. Company, I see.
Susie Neiman dropped by.
And how is Susie?
Well, she was saying it might be nice if we all went to Rome this summer. Or to Paris. Or someplace.
Was nice of her. And what did you tell her?
I told her we couldn't afford it.
Now, that was thoughtful of you. Phil Neiman will have that all over town by tomorrow morning.
Well, it's the truth.
The truth is relative.
Isn't that what you're always telling me? We can't afford this, we can't afford that. We can't afford to live on $75,000 a year.
In the first place, it is not $75,000 a year. Income taxes cut the gross amount down to about a third, say $24,000. First and second mortgage on the house, another $26,000. Municipal taxes, about $2,500 more. That leaves $23,000. That is $450 a week for all other expenses, including food, clothing, insurance, repairs.
The gardener, he says our sprinkler system is terminal.
The cook, gas, light, water, the gardener, the pool man, the phone.
You didn't mention your golf caddies, clubs, green fees.
Yes, and I also didn't mention your manicures, pedicures, massages, hair, beauty parlor, yearly trips to Washington to do whatever it is you do in connection with the DAR. I don't know.
My father was right. You have the soul of an accountant.
I didn't realize your father disapproved of me.
Oh, he didn't exactly disapprove. He just felt that you were vanilla pudding.
It didn't seem to deter him from borrowing money from me.
My father was something that no businessman can ever hope to understand, darling. He was a man of style, breeding. Yes? It's Harold Austin, for you.
Hello, Harold.
I'll put him right on, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Roscoe. I'm over here at the office thinking about who's going to be the next president over there at FMA.
Well, Harold, as one of the most influential members of the board, your input is pretty valuable.
I won't beat around the bush, Roscoe. I've been going over a list of board of directors.
Yes, and?
Well, it seems to me the support for you and Alex is about 50-50, wouldn't you agree?
Just about. There are a couple of swing votes, including your own.
Personally, Roscoe, I'd have a strong tendency to vote your way, except for one very big question mark.
Which is?
Well, I wear two hats, Roscoe. One says member board of directors, FMA. When I'm wearing that hat, well, I like you a lot.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that.
But I got this other hat, you see. It says President Austin Advertising Company. When I'm wearing that, you make me very nervous.
Oh?
Frankly, I'd be very uncomfortable at FMA if I thought we were going to have a president who was less than totally sold on the effectiveness of advertising.
Uh-huh. Well, it's strange you should mention that. I've just been giving some thought to our advertising.
You have?
Yes, I've only got one complaint. There's not enough of it. I'd like to see FMA's image enhanced over a much wider area.
Are you talking about an increased advertising budget?
Well, if I were in charge, I'd double it.
I can't tell you how you've eased my mind, Roscoe.
Glad to hear it.
Well, incidentally, I'm sending the dummies for the new key charge campaign over for your okay. It's got a nice little religious angle I think you're going to like.
I'm sure I will, Harold. And Harold, anytime you want my input, I'm as close as the phone.
I think we understand each other, Roscoe.
Nice chatting to you, Harold. Come in.
What was that about you being president of the bank?
Aren't we glad we've eavesdropped on some good news? Yes. It's a strong possibility.
It's also about time. See you in the morning.
Salary is $120,000 a year. Even you ought to be able to skimp by on that.
I tried to reach you on the phone.
What happened?
Alex, she's in no immediate danger.
Yeah, but something happened.
You'll see for yourself.
She's becoming more withdrawn. Her escape from reality is almost total. That's why I felt a visit from you could do some good, but at least it can't do any harm.
How long has she been like that?
Yesterday and today.
What can I do?
Just talk.
About what?
About everyday things, where you've been, who you've seen. Stop by before you leave.
Celia? Can you hear me? Celia? I loved you. I loved you, Celia, the way you were. The way you used to be alive. But you're not anymore. You're dead. You belong in another world, but I'm still living in this one. I won't give it up. I have needs, desires. Prove you're still alive. Say something. I put you here, that's what you're thinking, isn't it? Then scream at me. Hate me. Because I hate you. God help me. I wish you'd go to sleep and never wake up. Surprised.
You don't mind, do you?
Nicest surprise all day.
I'd almost forgotten what it looks like. Is it broken?
No, it ticks too loud. Trouble with antiques.
You sure you don't mind?
I'm delighted.
I I said to myself, it's been too long already. Do you know how long it's been? 10 days.
11. But who's counting? I am.
Okay?
Marvelous. I don't mean the soup, lady.
You get your mind on the right track.
Man, it's an effort, but all right. What'd you put in it?
Saffron.
Saffron. Why?
Because I like the color.
I like the color. Stay with me tonight.
I have to be in court early in the morning.
I'll set the alarm for 6.
Set it for 5:30. We can start the day off right.
You're really something. Out of sight. Is that what they say?
Please don't bother learning, because by the time the squares are saying it, they've changed it anyway.
You're telling me I'm square?
Some of my best friends are.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want him to marry your sister, would you?
My bet.
Margot, we better talk.
You spoke to Dr. McCartney tonight,
Had quite a conversation.
About Celia?
Everything.
And?
Well, she tells me that Celia doesn't care about me in a normal sense, like a wife cares about her husband, but that my visits give her, what? Security. I'm supportive.
What'd she say about, well, what would happen if you were to marry again? Alex?
Well, she says it would probably drive her over the edge.
I see.
It's about as bad as it gets. I've seen them. They lie in bed, their eyes blank, nothing. They can't do anything for themselves, you know. Every few hours, an attendant comes in and moves them.
You can't divorce her. There's just no way.
And no future. Just hot soup and sex in front of a fireplace isn't fair to you.
Could be worse.
She's not sick, you know, physically.
But she could probably stay that way for years.
That's right. What does that do to you?
Oh, I'll love you and sleep with you and cook soup for you.
And move in with me?
I don't think the board of directors is ready for that quite yet, do you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Mrs. Dorsey, could we see you in private a moment?
Of course.
Upstairs.
Oh, Mrs. Dorsey. This is Mrs. Dorsey, the manager of the bank, Mr. Innes, FBI.
How do you do?
I was just explaining to these gentlemen that as a result of your suggestion, we've made an investigation of the personal checking accounts of all the employees.
What have you found?
An awful lot more than we've been looking for, I'm afraid. Someone has been systematically embezzling large sums from the dormant accounts.
I see. Do you have a total figure on the money involved?
So far, we've pinpointed $10,000.
Tomorrow, we'll have access to some old records on microfilm. That should up the total.
Do you have any idea who it is?
We have one good possibility.
Who?
We wouldn't want to say until we have more to go on. But the audit of the personal checking accounts indicates that one of our people is paying to 3 separate finance companies.
That's hardly against the law.
True, but it becomes interesting when the total sum of the payments exceeds the monthly salary.
I see.
It still doesn't put us any farther ahead as far as the missing $6,000 cash goes.
No, but the natural supposition is that whoever stole the cash is the same person who embezzled from the dormant accounts. Now, there's no guarantee, but I think I can lock it up tonight if I have freedom to move.
We were just about to knock off anyway. Two things, Wainwright. A, don't bring me any bruised potatoes. B, don't you fumble.
Good evening, Mr. Easton.
What are you doing here, Wainwright?
Waiting for you.
Okay, who let you in?
How much did you steal today, embezzler?
You're making a big mistake, Wainwright. False accusation is a serious crime.
Come on, it's over. We know all about the milked accounts. The 3 finance companies you're paying off, and we know you stole the $6,000 from Nunez's cash box.
Well, that would take a considerable amount of proving.
Think so?
Yes, I do.
Not a bad job for an amateur. Took me all of 20 minutes to find it.
So that's why Dorsey kept finding things for me to do down at the bank.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're pretty good, Wainwright.
I'm supposed to be good. It's my business.
I suppose you've counted it.
6,000 exactly. I told you, I do this for a living. Now you try that again and I'll bust you in half.
Okay, let me out, please.
All right, now let's talk.
About what?
Let's start with the 6,000. How'd you work it?
You tell me.
All right. A few years ago, for a first offense white-collar crime like embezzlement, you wouldn't have done 5 minutes. Today you're looking at prison, time, and a lot of it.
You're breaking my arm.
You've got one chance to help yourself, and that's cooperation.
Okay. Okay, what do you want?
How'd you get the money out of her cash truck? Go on.
I just took it out of her cash truck at lunchtime.
In the vault?
That's right.
She didn't lock it?
I knew her combination.
How'd you get it?
I've been watching her for a couple of months now. I pick it up a number at a time.
You really are a...
Look, I had to have the money.
Don't you know they might have sent her away?
Yes, but I had to have the money.
Why?
Because I owe it.
Who else are you on the hook to besides a finance company? Loan shark book?
Yes.
Which?
Both.
All right, so you knew the combination. How did you do it?
When I took my lunch break, I put my cash truck next to hers in the vault. I came back early. Vault teller let me in. There was nobody else there, so I just opened her cash truck and took it out. 3 stacks of bills, $6,000. That was it.
So while all the questioning was going on, the Gestapo bit and all, you had the money right on you.
That's right.
I think that's cute, huh?
Mrs. Nunez, I want you to know that the bank is sorry. No, not the bank, me. I personally am very sorry for the treatment you received at our hands.
It was all right. No, it wasn't. And if anything remotely like this happens again, you come and see me.
Me first.
This is enough, just enough to get my bills paid.
Mrs. Nunez, do you mind a personal word of advice?
Of course not.
There's no need for you to ever be over your head again. You've got a steady job. It's just a matter of restraint. You know, not buying everything at once. Hi-fi, TV.
My husband, Carlos, bought these things.
I see.
Yes, somebody sent him a key charge card. So he goes out and buys everything. New suits, stove, television, everything. Couch, the rug.
Well, why didn't you stop him?
Why didn't you?
Hmm?
It's easy credit. And on the radio and every place you look, signs say buy, buy, buy. What do you expect? You should have stopped him.
No, 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 no! I want the guitars in the clear, then the harp. Is that so difficult, Walter? If it is, tell me. I'm sorry, Mr. Austin. Okay, are we ready for a take?
Let me get a level on the chicken.
The chicken, please.
Give the lady an Oscar.
All right, let's roll for a take. Key charge, commercial 10. Take 15.
Hey, Ma, did the mailman get here?
He's been and gone and brung us a key charge card.
Key charge? What's that?
Key charge. It's like dying and going to heaven.
Why wait for heaven when you can have your heart's desire right here on Earth?
No. You're still not getting it. No, I think the harp needs an echo chamber.
Well, no problem.
Oh, maybe a choir. Do you think a choir? Does that make sense?
Harold, excuse me. May I speak to you for a moment?
Well, to what do we owe this honor?
Well, I'm afraid it's bad news. We're reevaluating the campaign.
Oh? What does that mean?
Well, it means the campaign's been canceled. It's called off. I'm sorry about it, Harold.
Sorry? 6 months sweat down the tube, and you say you're sorry?
Look,
That's supposed to be it?
The campaign's wrong, Harold.
Just a minute, excuse me. May I ask a question here?
I get the feeling you're going to.
Just who is it that you think you are? Barging in here, throwing around edicts. I personally okayed this campaign last month, and so incidentally did you.
Yeah, maybe I did, but the campaign is now out.
Yes, but that doesn't sit on your shoulders. You don't have the authority.
But Ben Roselli does.
You mean you went to see a dying man to bother him about this?
Because I felt it was important. So did he.
But what about me?
Harold Austin won't be hurt.
What? I mean, you seem to be suffering from a diminished capacity to make sense. I mean, how could Harold Austin not be hurt to have the entire campaign thrown back into his face, not to mention the cost?
We're absorbing the cost.
By we, you mean the bank? The stockholders? Or were you planning on covering it with a personal check? I thought not. Apparently, your high-mindedness has its limits. You're very liberal when dispersing the bank's profits.
There are things more important than profits, Roscoe.
I'm sure the board will be interested in that statement.
I know you won't forget to mention it. Look, and Harold, next time try for a little more restraint. Remember, we're a bank, not a fried chicken franchise.
Possible that our friend, Mr. Vandervoort, made a rather serious tactical error today.
I'd call it fatal.
Mr. Haywood.
Excuse me, Mr. Hayward. I'm Lou Endicott, financial reporter for the Chronicle.
Oh, yes, Mr. Endicott. How are you? I read your column.
Saddened and reluctant to intrude on you on the day of the funeral, I respected Mr. Roselli a lot for what he did and what he wanted to do.
It's a terrible loss for all of us.
I won't take 5 minutes. I'm tracking down a rumor.
Very well, by all means, come in.
Thank you.
Now, this rumor you're tracking down, Mr. Endicott, what does it concern?
The next president of FMA, Mr. Hayward, the word is that the board of directors is split between you and Alex Vandervoort. A hopeless deadlock.
Could you tell me your source?
Absolutely not.
Well, whoever it is wrong. There's no deadlock, not any longer.
Oh, so who's the winner?
I guess there's no harm in letting it out. To be official on Monday, the board came to an agreement last night. There's a compromise, President.
Now, who?
Jerry Patterson. He's agreed to serve on a temporary basis until the time of his mandatory retirement in 7 months.
Then the presidency is still up for grabs until next summer.
Don't be surprised when Roscoe Hayward grabs it.
I see we're in for an interesting winter. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you really believe that?
What?
That I'll get the presidency?
Listen, I'm the 7th son of a 7th son, and believe me, I won't rest until we both personally nail Vandervoort's pelt to the outhouse door.
Well, any suggestions to that end will certainly be entertained.
As a matter of fact, I was working on something with an old client and friend.
Oh? In my behalf?
Well, I was going to sound you out on it next week after things had gelled a little more.
Well, why not sound me out on it now?
Well, how would you feel about a tie-up between FMA and George Quartermain's outfit?
Supernational? That'd be quite a feather in anyone's cap.
It'd be a whole damn war bonnet.
Quartermain. Just, what sort of a man is this Quartermain?
Oh, he's just your normal, everyday billionaire. He's anxious to meet you.
Is that so?
As a matter of fact, he mentioned us flying down to the Bahamas for a little golf and a chat.
Well.
What do you think?
Well. I'll let you know when I have a look at his latest statements.
This country should be in the shape George Quartermain's in. Roscoe, believe me, you walk into that boardroom with the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate in your pocket. Alex Vandervoort might as well jump into the same hole with Ben Roselli.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, the audit indicated that Miles, Mr. Easton, was deeply in debt. He'd been paying off 3 loan companies in a sum higher than his monthly salary.
Let me ask you another question, Mrs. Dorsey. What would have happened to Mrs. Nunez if the money had never been recovered?
It's a policy of the bank. When a teller has a loss like that, $6,000, that the teller is let go.
So in attempting to incriminate Mrs. Nunez...
Objection, Your Honor. It has not been proven that the defendant tried to incriminate.
Overruled. The evidence before this court clearly indicates an attempt to thrust blame for his own malfeasance onto an innocent and unsuspecting person, a young woman, moreover, who trusted him as a superior.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorsey. The prosecution would like to call Mrs. Juanita Nunez to the stand.
No. No, wait a minute.
It's out of order.
I just want to say something.
The defense attorney will kindly restrain his client.
There is no use going through with any more of this. I took the money.
Out of order.
I'm guilty.
I will not have this in this court.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to consult with my client?
Please do.
May I approach the bench, Your Honor? My client would like to change his plea to one of guilty.
All rise. Be seated. Since you waived a jury, I declare the change of plea will be permitted. The defendant will be remanded into custody for sentencing the 22nd of December. Court is adjourned.
Juanita. Juanita, I have to talk to you.
I don't think she's interested.
Mrs. Dorsey. I'm sorry. Would you tell her I'm sorry?
So am I.
I
think we can make a deal.
What's that?
The prosecutor's office is interested in organized crime in this town, especially gambling. I think I can get you probation in return for your cooperating. Listen, Easton, you better pay attention. You're going up on 4 counts of embezzlement unless you show this judge some real sign of penitence.
How?
You're gonna have to cooperate. You helped them get the bookmaker. You're off the hook.
No. No cooperation.
You're not gonna like Drummondberg.
What do you got, LaRocca?
Fresh fish.
Easton, huh? What the hell are you in here for?
Embezzlement, 4 counts.
You can forget everything you learned over at orientation. You're in with the big boys now. Keep your nose clean. Maybe someday you'll live long enough to walk out of here. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Well, blink or grunt or do something, boy. Don't just stand there. 101, 4 block.
Who's that guy?
A lifer. Calls his name. 2 counts of murder. Stay away from him.
Why?
He's the baddest cat in the joint, that's why.
Well, be it ever so humble.
Hey, listen. Sit down. I want to talk to you.
What is it?
I got a message for you.
From whom?
Some friends of mine. Some people who know you kept your mouth shut and appreciate it. The word is this. That $6 grand you owe, the clock has stopped.
What?
The vigorish is off, you understand?
You mean I still owe the money, but don't have to pay the compound interest, right?
Right. The clock is stopped as long as you're in the joint.
And when I get out?
You come see me. Okay, you got friends you don't even know you have.
Who are they?
You'll see. You come see me, Jules LaRocca. You know Tyler Street?
Yeah.
There's a place there called 7-7 Club. Can you remember that?
Sure, 7-7.
Oh, look, kid, you keep your nose clean. You'll be out of here in 8 months. You can stand damn near anything for 8 months. Here they come. Take it easy. And remember, Jules LaRocca, 7-7.
What are you doing here?
Name's Easton. I was told I was going to be staying here.
We're getting us a better class of people around this joint.
Yeah. Nothing personal, you know. Just stay off of my bunk. That is till you're invited.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, like I say, it's nothing personal, huh, kid? Huh?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Want to smoke?
No. No, thanks.
Like candy?
No.
Kind of rough on him, weren't you?
Well, it's kind of like a new pipe, you know? You gotta break it in just right.
All right, everybody in this cell block to the shower house. Come on, move it. All right, off the shower. Let's go.
Easton. Easton. Psst. Come here.
What is it?
It's time, that's what it is.
What are you talking about?
You sweet meat. You just got yourself a daddy. Now, boys.
Take
Welcome to Drummonburg, lover boy.
Now, you all know as well as I do, gentlemen, the duty of a bank is to make money for itself and its shareholders. So how do we achieve maximum profit? I tell you how we don't. We don't become involved in projects which are either financially unsound or tie up bank funds at low rates of yield for many years.
Such as Forum East.
Are we back to that again?
Happens to be the most perfect illustration of what we should avoid. Banks cannot be charitable institutions. Let the government finance low-cost housing. The function of a bank is to seek out the most favorable situation with the highest return. That's Sir's business.
Pure and simple.
It's not that pure. It's far from simple. Look, I've said it before and I'll keep on saying it. I disagree. The function of a bank is to help you them.
Please, this is not what we're here for.
You're right, Jerry, you're right. Sorry. But while we're talking of potential lost revenue, the subject of this meeting fits right in. The counterfeiting of credit cards is costing us millions. And our chief of security seems incapable of doing anything about it.
Now, you hired Wainwright, Alex. Has he given you any idea when he might get a breakthrough?
He's doing his best. And for me, that's the best there is.
That's not an answer.
The answer, gentlemen, is that he doesn't know when he'll get a breakthrough.
Oh, so meanwhile we just sit and continue to lose millions to counterfeiters. Calculated at the current rate, our key charge loss will come to $10 million a year.
You know what I feel? Well, since you're famous for blunt talk, I'll be blunt. I feel you don't give a damn for the whole concept of key charge.
That's ridiculous. All right, Roscoe, what's your solution? Fire Nolan Wainwright?
You're putting words into my mouth.
Then you're not saying that.
Yes, damn it, fire him. We're bankers, not social workers. Fire him.
Are you questioning his integrity?
I'm questioning his competence.
Yeah. What you mean is that I'm guilty of reverse prejudice. Hiring minorities and backing them up no matter how inefficient they are.
Yes, and I should think that's pretty obvious to everybody. Your passion for Forum East, your bleeding hearts for minorities, and your sympathy for left-wingers.
Left-wingers?
I'm referring to that lady lawyer.
I don't think we should go on in this vein.
It's okay, Jerome. Go on. Tell the gentlemen how they may have a communist running this bank.
Oh, Alex, you can't make it go away by reducing it to an absurdity.
And you're not going to make Nolan Wainwright go away by running at me.
Then you wouldn't mind if we put him to a vote of confidence.
It wouldn't change my confidence. So if you'll excuse me.
I don't think we need any vote of confidence.
What we need is a limit, Jerome. We need results.
Over here. Over here. You're drunk.
Getting there. A man's got to relax after work.
You been doing any work?
It's not easy, Wainwright. These dudes got eyes in the back of their heads.
My eyes are in front, and they tell me you're doing nothing. Look, I'm getting a ton of pressure about these phony key charge cards. The man who hired me is getting pressure. You better come up with something.
They're good. Whoever's making them's an expert.
I know that.
So I'm getting closer. But look, friend, it takes time. And to get real close, money.
If you're stringing me out,
You couldn't get anybody to take my place for $1 million. That'll get me close.
Not close there. All the way. Names, places, everything.
I'll try.
No, you won't. You'll do it. Because if this key charge thing isn't cracked, I go, and that's the end of the money. You got 24 hours.
Don't give me a time limit.
24 and counting.
I'm close, I really am, but I can't push my luck too fast.
And here.
Do you know what they do to snitches?
Go first class, don't go. Rather than the Waldorf salad, I think the Caesar. And for dessert, instead of the glace Martinique, the soufflé Grand Marnier.
Oui, monsieur, entendu.
Mr. Hayward and Mr. Austin, sir. Welcome aboard. Great pleasure, Mr. Hayward.
It's nice of you to have us, Mr. Quartermain.
Let's make that Roscoe and George. I always like to get my golfing pigeons on a first-name basis. Harold, how nice to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Those boys of yours did a marvelous job on the distillery promotion.
Oh, thanks, George. I'll tell the boys.
Yes, please do. First-rate team out there.
Well, we think so at FMA.
Yes. You must forgive my informality. I was just about to have a sauna and a rub-down before lunch.
You mean you have a sauna? On the plane?
Well, we try to make all travel as pleasant as possible. It's the only way to fly. You both join me, won't you?
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Good, good. Roscoe?
Well, no, I think no, thanks.
Oh, well, anything more that we can do to make you comfortable. Oh, which reminds me, Moonbeam?
Yes, sir, Mr. Q.
Still can't get her tongue around Quartermain. Always calls me Mr. Q.
Gentlemen,
These are your stewardesses.
I'm Averill, and my job on this trip is to take care of you exclusively and to make sure that you have everything that you want.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Mr. Quartermain, the refueling is over and the pilot requests permission to take off.
Well, tell him he's got it. Let's go. You sure you won't change your mind?
Well, thank you very much. I think I'd rather just sit here and enjoy the inactivity.
Yes, it must have been quite a rat race after Ben Rosselli died.
It's been difficult, yes.
We're still in an interim situation, George, but by next fall, a good many of us on the board expect to see Roscoe firmly in the driver's seat.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. I always like to deal with people at the top. Ready?
I've been ready since last time.
Did you know there was a rumor in the street that we might be doing business together?
Sinatco and FMA?
Did your people plant it?
Well, no, I can tell you I didn't.
Well, perhaps you should have. FMA is selling at 45 3/4. 3 points up just on the rumor. Oh, and don't be nervous if you think the plane is going in the wrong direction. We're just stopping off at Washington long enough to pick up by Stonebridge.
Stonebridge? The Secretary-Treasurer pro tem?
Well, as I told you, I like dealing with people at the top.
May I get you a drink before takeoff?
Oh, yes, please. I think I'd like a lemonade. Thank you.
Plain lemonade?
Yes, there's not too much trouble.
Nothing is too much trouble as far as you're concerned, Mr. Haywood. As I told you, I'm here to see that you have everything that you want. It's my job and my pleasure.
Hey, listen, there's a first-rate casino in town, if anybody feels lucky. Or would you rather we keep the party intimate?
Oh, no, let's all just stay here.
Well, it's fine by me. Anybody else? That's it, then. We stay right here. We'll be intimate. Thank you very much, Enrico. Fausto, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're on your own.
We're gonna do it.
Here we go.
Hey, look, there it goes. Oh, no. Do another color. Do another color. Anyway, don't you see screws now? Don't you use cream? Don't you use cream? With cream. Oh, no. Do another color. Do another color. Anyway, don't you see screws now? Don't you use cream? Don't you use cream? With cream on it.
Enjoying yourself, Roscoe?
Oh, excuse me. I'm not used to these things. Oh, it's a different world.
I take it that your bank would like a little of Sinatco's business.
Well, the thought had occurred to us, depending, of course, on what your plans are.
Well, right now, I'm expanding Sinatco's foreign communications holdings. I buy control of small key telephone and broadcasting companies all around the world. From your bank, I would expect a line of credit of $50 million, at prime, of course.
50 million.
Too rich for your blood?
No. What I'd have to review is our bank's legal limitation under federal law.
What's the problem?
Well, I'm referring to the fact that no bank can lend more than 10% of its capital unpaid in surplus to a single debtor.
Oh, hell, Roscoe, there are ways around that.
Yes, I'm perfectly well aware that there are ways and means.
Well, the way to beat that regulation is to split up the loan among our subsidiaries, and we'll reallocate it when and as we need.
Yes, it could be done that way.
Roscoe, if 50 mil is more than you people can handle, just say so. No hard feelings. I'll give it to Chase Manhattan.
No. It's not too large. Not too large, believe me.
All right, now, what am I offering for a runny 12-layered Boost Cafe?
12.5 cents.
Oh, like Icarus, baby, you're trying to fly too close to the sun.
I want to swim.
Well, what's stopping you?
Nothing, darling. Absolutely nothing.
Hey, it's marvelous. Come in.
Last one into Dirty Bird. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, come on. You're gonna move. You're gonna beat me.
I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, you're right.
Will you do the honors?
Honest?
My zipper. Please.
Oh. All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It seems to be a bit.
Here. I'll show you. You gonna come with me? I'll see you later.
Hey, here she comes. Look. Hey, girls, anybody see George?
I'm not much one for swimming myself. Although, once in a while, when a man is among friends, it's nice to let yourself go.
Yes. Yes. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'll turn in.
Oh, Roscoe. In case you change your mind, it's the intercom button on the right.
Good night.
Yes.
It's me.
I'll be right there, darling.
Sorry, Jerome. Gentlemen, let's proceed. What's of special interest today is our new account with Supranational Corporation, or as it's more popularly known, Sonatco. Personally, I'm delighted with the terms negotiated and strongly recommend approval. For background or any questions on the loan, I'll turn this over to Roscoe Hayward, who's responsible for bringing this new, important business to the bank.
Here, here. Here, here. Well done. Well done.
Well, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. In Appendix B of your blue folders, you'll find a summary of the assets and projected profits of Sonatco. And as you can see, the Figures are excellent. Thank you.
I don't think we have any need for discussion or questions. I think we are witnessing a masterstroke of business for the bank, and I propose approval.
I second.
Proposed and seconded. Are we ready to vote?
No, not yet.
What's the matter, Alex? Wouldn't you like to have brought this deal into the bank?
Mr. Speary, there's no way that I would have brought this deal before the board.
All right, Alex, you've got the floor. What do you find wrong with this deal?
Almost everything.
Well, let's hear some specifics.
Okay. One, there's too much commitment to a single account. It's not only an ill-advised concentration of risk, but in my opinion, it's fraudulent under Section 23A of the Federal Reserve Act.
I object to that word fraudulent.
Objection doesn't change the facts.
Look, read the material. The full commitment is not only to Sonatco itself, but to its subsidiaries. The allocations are specifically spelled out in the material. Read it.
Roscoe, you know as well as I do that once the bank's money is in any of these subsidiaries, George Quartermain can and will move it around any way he wants.
Oh, now, hold everything. Now, George Quartermain is a good friend of mine. I won't sit here quietly while he's accused of bad faith.
Spare us the false indignation. In the first place, you're not that close to Quartermain. What I'm talking about is a fact of life. We're really lending to a single entity. What we're trying to do, gentlemen, is circumvent the law.
It's a matter of interpretation. Let's vote.
I'm not finished yet.
You might be a damn sight closer to finish than you know.
Be that as it may, I've got the floor. And I've got something else to say, gentlemen, and you better hear it loud and clear.
Gentlemen, please. Go ahead.
Since the negotiations of the loan started, our trust department has purchased 123,000 shares of Sonatco stock, which I'm sure was agreed to as a condition of the loan.
That's a deliberate distortion.
The purchase isn't a distortion.
Your interpretation is Sonatco's an excellent investment.
Suddenly it's a good investment? Well, I hope the SEC takes that view, because I'm warning you all that what is happening may be in contravention of the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933, and that directors can be held responsible.
Are you threatening us?
Just warning you. If you ratify the Sonatco loan with all its ramifications, you'll regret it.
Is that all?
Just one more thing, Jerome. The fact is that a commitment of that kind of money to Sonatco will call for a reduction of our housing commitment to Forum East, and if we do that, I'm going to tell you, and I have it on reliable authority, that it's going to cause big trouble in the downtown area.
The Forum East project is open for reassessment. We're voting on the Sonatco loan.
Record my vote as against.
If there's no further discussion, we'll record a vote. Austin?
Aye.
Hayward? Aye. Sperry?
Aye.
Some answers. To think us right, man. What about this store?
Order, please be quiet, or we'll just forget the whole meeting and everybody can go home.
You know, that's the trouble. Some of us ain't got a home to go to. Man,
take it easy, D.
Hey, Deacon, you a big man around here. What's the answer?
Answer?
Hey, forgot the question. Hey, man, you watch that over there. The question is, are we just gonna sit around here and let them cut down on the Forum East housing project like it says here in the paper, or what?
All this article says is that it's a rumor. Rumor, repeat. Rumor has it that due to a temporary shortage of long-term fundings, FMA's pet downtown project, Forum East, will be in for some paring. Now, folks, all that means...
People, don't you understand that?
Please, be quiet. We can't accomplish anything acting like a mob.
Okay, lady lawyer, why don't you tell us what we can accomplish by being nice and polite?
We don't have to be nice and polite.
We got to be something. That's right.
Listen, all we're doing is dealing with a rumor that says there's a temporary shortage of...
Garbage, ladies! You don't believe that! Hey, lady, I'll tell you what temporary means. Permanent.
I know what you're thinking, and you could be right. You're thinking that the renewal of the project has been stalled because the bank is looking for better long-term investment. And if they find it, then Forum East is down the tubes.
You got it.
Okay, and I've got a plan, and we can move that bank off the dime with a whole new kind of demonstration.
What honor?
All those people. Hundreds.
That might be the underestimation of the year, Mrs. Dorsey. Someone went outside just now and said the line extends halfway across Rosselli Plaza, and more people are joining it all the time.
Well, did anyone ask them what they all want?
To open accounts.
All of them?
Yes.
There must be 300 I can see right from here. We never had that many new accounts in a single day.
While I'm here, man, I think I'm gonna have me some fun.
I'd like to open up an account in this bank, if you please.
Right over here.
You too? You too?
I take it this is the new accounts department.
Yes, sir.
Well, then I guess I'm in the right place. Huh?
Yes, sir. Okay, your name, please.
John J. Dinkerwell.
Beg your pardon.
Dinkerwell. It's an old Southern name.
Address.
5332 Wilson. That's apartment C.
Okay. Occupation.
Pimp.
Excuse me, lady, but could you run that by me again about the interest and the withdrawals and all that jive? I mean, I don't seem to quite got it.
Well, Mr. Humphrey.
No, Humphrey. Humphrey Lopez. You keep making the same mistake.
Humphrey. Well, Mr. Lopez, conforming with government regulation, interest accrues.
Deacon to the General.
I read you.
We are in the hen house.
That's a 10-4, Deacon.
I gotta get up to the front of the line. I'll wait when I have to. I gotta get up there. Let me up to the front of the line. I gotta get in here. No, I don't have to go to the end of the line. I gotta
Sir, I must ask you to go to the end of the line.
Look, I've done business at this bank for 10 years.
End of the line, please.
No strong-arm man is gonna tell me to... Chief of Security. Look, the end of the line is all the way across the plaza, and I'm carrying over $1,500 in cash.
Well, anybody tries to rip you off couldn't pick a worse place.
End of the line. I could get sunstroke or die of starvation before I get in there.
All right, all right. All right. Just be quiet.
Excuse me. Excuse me, just a minute.
Let the lady through, please.
Thank you. That's enough people in the bank.
All right, hold it. That's all for now. Hold it. Just, you'll be next.
Hold everyone else outside, letting a few in as others leave, with the exception of our regular customers.
Mrs. Dorsey, some of the customers we'll recognize, but a lot we won't. We got so many in here in the course of a day, it'd be impossible to recognize them all.
And another thing, I've been out there. Anyone tries to crash this line, why, these people won't stand for it. Playing favorites could start a riot.
Alex? Oh, Alex. I'm cracking up.
Do it quietly.
Could I have your attention for a moment, please? I'm an executive of this bank, and could somebody tell me why you've all come here today?
Yeah, we're opening accounts. Anything wrong with that?
Of course not.
Our money's as good as anybody else, isn't it?
Certainly, but there must be some reason why you've all come here together.
If you please. You could say that we're all from Forum East, Mr. Vice President.
Oh, I remember you. You outranked me, Mr. President. President of the Tenants Association.
That's right.
Mrs. Dorsey, our bank manager.
Is that a fact?
Yes, and they're getting to be more of us every day. I hope you believe in equality for women, Mr.
Euphrates, Deacon Euphrates, I sure do believe in that. And a lot of other things.
Well, is it the other things that bring you here today?
You might say what we're doing is an act of hope.
act of hope.
It seems like this bank doesn't have enough money to help Forum East get built. So what we're doing is bringing all the money that we poor folks can raise to help this bank during this time of trouble.
Righteous. And ain't that good neighboring for sure?
That's a lot of nonsense. This bank is not in trouble.
Then why'd they do what they did to Forum East?
Yeah, why'd they do it? The bank's position was perfectly clear in its announcement. It's just a question of priorities. Furthermore, the bank has said that it hopes to resume full financing at a later date. Jeffries of the News.
Free press. Oh. However it looks to you, the fact is we are here to put money into your bank.
Well, that's what you mean by an act of hope.
We figure that when you realize how we feel, maybe you'll change your mind.
And if we don't?
We'll find more people, more bits of money.
And bring the business of this bank to a standstill.
We have more good souls coming here today, tomorrow, and the day after.
That's blackmail.
Just to open up new accounts, of course. We just want to help this poor bank.
Yeah, feel sorry for it.
Of course, now, a lot of these people who are putting in their money today may have to take it out tomorrow or the day after or next week. You see, most of these folks don't have so much that they can leave their money in the banks. But just as soon as we can, we'll be back and put it in again. We aim to keep you busy.
That, Mr. Euphrates, is abundantly clear.
All right. We'll expect you to keep this place orderly inside and out.
Naturally, my friends and I intend to cooperate.
Mr. Wainwright will give you the directions on how many people can stay at one time and where the waiting line should stay outside.
We do hope you'll be fair.
What does that mean?
Oh, we're customers like anyone else. We don't expect any others to receive any special treatment. Anyone arriving, no matter who, has to go to the back of the line. I do hope it'll be done just that way, because if it isn't, it'll be a clear case of discrimination. And explaining that to some of those young men out there may be hard to do.
Are you threatening a riot?
Promising.
Now, we will not give in to a mob.
Stop sounding like a small-town sheriff.
Those people at the downtown branch aren't a mob. Every report has made that clear.
Gentlemen, where did all these people get $5?
You think a union's supplying the money?
Yes. We all know how banks feel about unions. Like a snake feels about a mongoose. I say if we stand in cement because of pride, gentlemen, inside of a week I predict that our stock will drop lower. And the Federation of Clerks, Cashiers, and Office Workers will announce a plan to unionize it.
That's amazing, Alex. Just amazing. Where do you get your crystal ball?
Doesn't take one.
Harold was astute enough to point out that the person behind all this had a knowledge of law. You wouldn't have any idea of...
Of what, Roscoe?
I say you knew of this. I say that your affair with this woman while your wife remains gravely ill...
Don't talk of my wife.
I say that your affair with this woman takes precedence over the interests of this bank. And I say that you are in collusion with a conspiracy to destroy my work with Senatco and destroy my chances of the presidency.
Gentlemen, please.
Funny how some people give motives to others that they have themselves.
I'm with Roscoe.
Surprise.
You haven't answered the charge.
Well, I can't tell if Roscoe's finished.
Sarcasm won't do it, Vandervoort.
We're back to a last name basis.
Alex, terribly serious things have been said.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I thought a little levity might match their absurdity. I voted against Senatco for the reasons I gave. I still have those reasons. And they've been brought into sharper focus by this critical situation. We're in danger. Plain and simple. We've got to restore funding to the Forum East housing project.
That set a precedent?
Precedent for being blackmailed.
Precedent for being responsive to the needs of the community.
And the tactics of extortionists. I move we bring this matter to a vote. Our commitment with Senatco or the rabble of Forum East.
Second the motion.
Now, wait. We're being premature.
But Alex, the bank is paralyzed. We can't let it spread.
We're making a terrible mistake.
I've seconded the motion. It's before the
Stock. Where will it be tomorrow, next week?
I move the vote be called.
Second.
Point of order.
A motion's been made to vote on the motion. Those in favor? Point of order. The motion has not been properly
Alex,
made.
I'm generally on your side, but you're being an obstructionist.
I warn you about nitpicking in Robert's rule.
All right. The hell with it. Vote. Those in favor of Senatco signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? No.
No.
I move for a show of hands.
Right here, second.
But I just wanted you to remember yourselves with your hands in the air.
All day, men, women, children, standing out there all day. And where did it get us? Nowhere.
They don't care. The TV, the radio, they just tell us to drop dead.
If ever you had a good idea, I hope you got one now.
I don't know that I do, but if there was ever a time to use our heads, it's now. You couldn't be any more insulted or outraged than I am. But we heard other things on the news. That our bank in today was one of the most remarkable demonstrations anywhere at any time. That it was almost 100% effective.
Almost.
Look, I'm not going to insult you with a lot of jive about a great victory. We lost. We brought our case to the people of this city and this country, and we lost. We drove the stock of First Mercantile down, and we lost. And they told us to you-know-what.
Yeah, well, I've got a
Let her finish, Dink.
I may be finished, Deacon. But something inside me says that while we lost today, we can win tomorrow.
Look, lady, you said you weren't going to jive us.
It's up to you to decide whether or not it is. Every newspaper, television, and radio station is waiting for our reaction tomorrow. The bank stonewalled us. I say we can stonewall, too. Let's see how high and mighty they are after a week.
Right on. Way to go.
It's not just the poor people that are behind us. We've got union muscle, too.
That's right there with us.
If we keep the pressure on, they can't ignore us.
They can kill us.
No, they can't. Not if we stay peaceful.
You're a fool, lady. I like you very much, but you're a fool. Now, Deke, you be the first to say if I'm wrong. Money talks, and money's in the banks.
People's money.
I mean real money. Big business, conglomerates. Yeah, I know that word. Big newspapers, TVs, radios. Lady, you beat a bank, you're dangerous to them. To the economy, the establishment. So tomorrow we're back again. We're banking in. And they get nervous and have meetings. And the next day we're still there. And now they're scared, because they couldn't run us over. Do you want to know what happens next?
They'll say it's a communist-inspired demonstration. Those lies don't work anymore.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. Remember last year, the sitting in the airport toilets? That was last year, and the councilman that called it communist-inspired was laughed right off the floor.
Okay, so they won't try it, but they've got other tricks.
We can handle anything they throw at us.
Not this one. Those cops out there, just doing their jobs, getting their orders from higher up. Suspected parole violator among the demonstrators. So they check ID. And let me tell you, lady, you go to the richest white church in the city, and you look long and hard enough, and you're gonna find somebody with dirt on them.
Amen. Say that again, brother. Amen.
So one of us, just one of us out of hundreds, isn't all that clean. So the cop comes over to put the handcuffs on him. And maybe the cop says something, and we're witnessing his shame, so he says something back. The cop don't like it, so he pushes him, and he pushes him back. And damn it, lady, you want me to write the headline?
Then we'll spread the word, and no parole violator will take part in the demonstration.
All he gotta do is say he's a violator. That's the way they've been doing it.
Wait a minute. You know what you've just done is to manufacture a whole story that hasn't even happened.
Hasn't happened? Woman, where have you been? That's the way they do it.
They don't do it to us. We've got to have faith.
Faith? Now you sound like a preacher. Well, I've got faith in money. It's used to buy power and a whole lot of other things. But I just ain't for sale. Come on.
The only way that you can help Forum East is to work within the law. You're giving away your only chance. Please listen to me. Please. You're just playing right into their hands if you try to do anything with force.
People can only take so much. Then they can't take any more. Else they lose their self-respect. We just want to keep our heads up.
Tragedy is that it didn't have to happen.
No? I don't remember hearing any alternatives.
But I was still trying.
While the people were still waiting.
I wanted to talk to them, remember? Get me Mr. Wainwright. And Roscoe's got a pretty good idea of who staged this whole thing.
You know what he can do.
Oh, brilliant. But a brilliant, intelligent response from an attorney. Yes? All right. Well, tell him it's urgent. I repeat, urgent.
Go on. Why don't you call in the police and the National Guard while you're at it?
How do you think you'd like that, huh? World War III. The FMA bank is being guarded day and night.
Worried about your image?
Just what did you hope to accomplish by that little demonstration?
It wasn't so little.
That wasn't so funny.
It wasn't meant to be. That demonstration was orderly and legal.
It was also a red flag to a bull. You know what Hayward tried to make of it?
I don't care.
But others do. He sold him the idea that I was in collusion with you in that bank-in order to embarrass him and get the presidency for myself. There was a small flame of hope before me. It was almost out. Still, it was flickering as long as I had a voice. But you blew it out.
You sound as though you were embarrassed.
Embarrassed. I was betrayed.
Betrayed? You were betrayed? What in God's name do you think those people were? They're betrayed every day by hunger, sickness, crime. Too many days of idleness with nothing to do but to think of tomorrow being the same. I know because I work there. But at least at night I get to go home.
Which is where you ought to go right now. Hello. Nolan, take a look at our security strength. Just a precaution. Sure. Well, low profile. Now! Just don't tell me that you're sorry.
This is a Showtime exclusive presentation.
Mr. Vandervoort, there's a tremendous question unanswered these past few months. Why would anybody want to blow up this bank?
It's a wonder more of them don't get blown up.
Beg pardon?
Well, I'll stand by that statement.
An FMA vice president has just stated surprised that more banks don't get bombed. Rather astounding statement, sir. Don't you like banks?
When they're deaf, dumb, and blind to the needs of the community that they serve.
And FMA is guilty of that?
We were, and I hope that can stay in the past tense. We simply weren't responsive when we were asked for help.
Could that have been the motive for the bombing?
We promised the people of this town more housing. Well, we didn't keep that promise.
Why not?
Profit got in the way.
But aren't banks in business for profit?
Certainly, but there's a line between profit and naked greed. We bankers don't pay enough attention to our customers in the community that we operate in.
And you're a solution?
No solution, an approach. The people. We've got to help the people get what they need. Housing, loans, financial advice, and they'll help us get what we want, profits.
Well, then you might have the opportunity to put that approach into action, won't you? I understand FMA's going to have a new president pretty soon.
Mr. Coogan, what I said are beliefs, not campaign oratory.
Be that as it may, the new president will be...
No comment.
Well, it's no secret, but...
Thank you, Mr. Coogan. It's been a pleasure.
Well, then I hope you get it. because you sound like some real kind of banker to me. This is Cal Coogan, and where it's at. We're at today is Roselli Plaza, where you met a banker with some really new ideas. Okay, that's a wrap.
Congratulations.
And what?
Your divorce from reality. It just became final.
Roland, do you sense a note of disapproval?
Are you nuts, giving out an interview like that? Don't you want to be president of FMA?
Come on, Edwina, of course.
Well, how do you think the board of directors is going to react to all that stuff?
Some will get mad. Some will start thinking. I hope.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Vandervoort. Nice show.
All this time? I missed you.
We just flew in from Amsterdam on Tuesday. I missed you too.
It's fantastic. You getting all this time off. I'm lucky, aren't I?
Russie, luck has nothing to do with it. You call, and here I am. Let's have a little drink.
No more. No thanks.
Oh, yes.
No thanks. No.
Oh, Russie, please.
No, come on now.
Oh,
No,
come
no,
on,
no,
Russie.
you know I don't.
Just
You know I don't.
For us. To your wife. She just doesn't know what she's missing.
To us.
To us. What's the matter?
Nothing.
You all right?
Yep.
Your Sunday throat?
Yes. Come on, come on, cut it out. Heartless, cruel. You know I'm not.
Well, you better just start getting used to that. You know, my daddy used to say that.
What did Daddy?
He used to say, hey, Mommy, nice things are so easy to get used to. Say that. Hello? Yes? Yes, he is. It's for you. George Quartermain.
Quartermain?
In person.
How does he know I'm here?
Well, I told him, honey.
Why?
Well, you're my beau, but he's my boss, and he likes to know where I am.
Yes?
Hello, Roscoe. Is that you?
Yes? Where are you calling from?
The Bahamas. What difference does it make? I have some very good news about Sinatco. Quarterly earnings statements. You'll read about it in the papers tomorrow.
You mean you called me here to tell me about that?
Oh, interrupted you, did I?
No.
Oh, well, better luck next time. As a matter of fact, I was expecting some slight expression of gratitude. Nothing excessive, mind you. Perhaps a wild whoop of joy or...
Gratitude for what?
Didn't Averill give you an envelope from me?
Just a minute. You know anything about an envelope?
Oh, mea culpa. I got it right here. It's all your fault, you know. I forget things when I'm around you.
George? What is this?
Well, as a matter of fact, I feel it's high time that you join our little investment group. A small private group called Q Investments. So I've allotted 2,000 shares to you, which we will regard as fully paid for.
Well, I appreciate your thoughtfulness, George.
They're nominee certificates, endorsed in blank. More discreet that way.
Oh, I don't think I could possibly accept this.
Well, why not, for heaven's sake?
Well, I mean, there's an ethical area here, George. After all, I am empowered to make loans on my own signature.
Well, Roscoe, I'm not about to ask you for a loan. Don't be a damn fool. This is the real world.
Yes, but these shares are worth 20,000 real dollars.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, we'll say that the shares are in return for your investment advice.
That's pretty high-priced advice.
I like to do things for my friends, Roscoe. Don't
throw a favor back in my face. All right, George, I'll put the shares away and I'll think about it.
Attaboy, Tiger. See you soon.
Hurry, Stella, come on.
Shall I get it?
No.
Juanita.
Who is it?
Miles Easton.
Who?
Miles Easton from the bank. Please, Juanita, I have to talk to you. Please let me in.
Come to the light so I can see you. Mother of God. I thought you were in prison.
I got out a couple of days ago and I'm on parole.
Who are you?
Never mind, Emercito. Go into the bedroom and close the door, and I'll be in a minute, okay? What do you want?
May I sit down?
You're not a friend of mine. You're not a guest here.
I know that. I'm just tired, that's all.
All right, sit then.
Thank you.
You were going to let them blame me, weren't you, for the money you stole?
Yes, I guess so.
You guess so?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. I've been asking myself why I'd act like that. See, all my life, ever since I can remember, I've been able to talk my way out of trouble. When I was little, my poor mother, she'd believe anything I'd tell her. At school, same deal. You get to thinking it's easy.
So?
So when I got into this gambling thing, well, they were a kind of people I'd never met before. I had a system, and it worked for a while, and then it went sour, and I started losing. So I started doubling and losing. I started writing IOUs. And then one day, they sent this guy to see me. They wanted their money. He gave me a sample of what would happen if I didn't pay. Well, I've never been very brave about pain, so I started taking money from the dormant accounts. All the time betting more and more, waiting for my luck to change. I was stealing, I was borrowing from loan sharks, I was... It was like somebody else was in my body and I was standing over the side watching this crazy person doing these crazy things.
Listen. What's done is done. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me. All this time, ever since I was up in the joint, I've wanted to tell you how sorry I am for what I did to you. And I'm ashamed, and I always will be.
please, please don't cry. Who am I to make anyone cry?
Oh, don't let it bother you. I seem to cry pretty easily these days.
Please, please sit down. Come on, please. Really. Listen, would you like a glass of wine?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. When did you eat last?
If it's an invitation, I accept it.
Okay. Dinner in 30 minutes.
He wouldn't even talk to me at FMA. Guy at First Federal almost had me thrown out. Midwestern State told me to forget it. I don't want to seem paranoid, but after 3 days of rejections, you get the feeling you're not exactly catnip to the financial establishment in this town.
What are you going to do? How are you going to eat?
I don't know. I met this guy in prison. His name's LaRocca. He said to come see him.
For what?
For a job.
What kind of job?
The kind of job where they pay you money so you can eat.
Isn't that against the parole to see other ex-convicts?
Got to find work somehow.
Maybe I've got an idea.
They all look the same to me.
2 of them are counterfeits.
Well, they're very good ones.
Yeah, that's our problem. And nobody puts out a product like that without an organization. And I mean a big one. With money behind it, machinery, a distribution system.
Well, where do I come in?
I'm authorized to put one undercover man in the street.
Me?
It pays $600 a month. As far as you're concerned, it's out of my pocket, and you will have no connection with the bank.
Okay. Okay, I'll take the job.
Well, not so fast. Something you have to know first.
What?
There was somebody else on this job. That's what happened to him. Now, I'm offering you this job against my better judgment. Partly because Juanita insisted, and partly because I need somebody in there. But I have to be honest with you, I'm recommending you don't take it.
When do I start?
You sure?
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to sit here and beg?
$100's be all right.
What do I do?
Juanita tells me you've got some connections from the joint.
One, I know a guy named LaRocca.
Start there.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing. The way you went after this guy before you, he didn't keep any secrets. That means they know about me, the bank, what he was doing, everything.
So?
If they ever so much as see us together, you're dead. What we're going to need is a conduit of some kind. Some means of communication for information, instructions, and so on.
Huh. What about Juanita?
I'll ask her, see what she says about it.
I appreciate this, Wainwright.
You don't know me a thing, kid. You're asking me, you're sticking your butt in a buzzsaw.
Groceries? What kind of groceries?
Well, let's see. Bottle of wine. Canned oink. I wonder what this is. Wonder how this got in there. Necklace for a little girl. Grocer must have put it in by mistake. You see a little girl around anywhere? No, I don't either. Oh, well, we can always take it back.
No, don't leave here.
And so, what have you got for me?
A kiss.
Oh, what is this?
That's a necklace for a big girl.
Oh, some grocery store you go to.
You haven't seen the half of it.
They're so beautiful. Look.
Something nice
Oh,
to keep the
that's
chill off those
really
pretty
mine.
shoulders.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, that's
And we
really-
have your basic proud Spanish beauty comb for the flamenco dancing.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, we have some
Wait a
light.
minute.
Oh, no.
Would you strike oil? What kind of job is this you got?
Well, didn't Wainwright tell you?
He said it was secret. That's all, that I'm a go-between. He's having a phone put in tomorrow.
Didn't he mention that it could be dangerous for you?
Well, he mentioned it. It's okay.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Oh, there was something else. I put it in the drawer in the kitchen.
H.E. Lathrop.
Here's what he said. The first 3 letters plus the last letter spell the word help. He said if you're onto something hot and need support, or if you're in some kind of trouble, use the card in a store.
Make a purchase.
More than $100 worth. You know the computers at the Key Charge Authorization Center?
Sure.
They're programmed for the card. Anytime it's presented, Wainwright will be contacted immediately.
Hey. Anybody?
This is a private club, Buster. You ain't a member, out.
Wasn't anybody in the lobby?
I'm looking for a friend of mine. A guy named La Roca.
Never heard of him.
But he said...
Out. Hey, didn't you hear? I said out.
Hey, Miles. It's cool, Patsy. This is a buddy of mine. So you made it, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful. How long you been out?
Close to a week.
How's the job market?
There isn't any.
Baby, baby, baby. I told you to come see Jules.
Look, I'm beat. You said something about helping me.
Help you want? Help you get. Come on.
Where?
You're gonna meet a nice fellow named Tony Bear.
You gotta look at it this way. You owe me $6,000. What are we gonna do about that?
The kid wants to make it good.
Yeah, that's great. You keep a set of books?
The kid worked in a bank.
Hey, will you let him answer?
Yeah, I'm an expert bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper, huh? That's the only word in the English language with 3 sets of double letters in a row. Did you know that?
No.
It's true. My kid tells me these things. All right, you're gonna work here. Room and board plus $5 a week. Everything else goes to the loan and the interest. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you one more thing. If I catch your hand in the till, I'm gonna cut your fingers off and shove them up your nose. And if you think that's just conversation, try me one time.
Yes, sir.
Come on, get out of here. I'm not sure I trust that kid 100%. Keep an eye on him.
All right, you two. Break it up.
Our little peacemaker. Tell me something, Alex. When are you going to move my little turtle dove out of that bank and into the executive tower where she belongs?
Now, that's quite enough of that, Louis. You don't invite people over for dinner and then hustle them for jobs.
I most certainly do, especially when I've broken out the Claude de Bougeot.
Oh, now stop, darling. You really are embarrassing.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've been planning to bring Edwina up to the tower for quite a while now.
Good for you. It's about time you had a woman in top management.
Well, whether I'll be able to swing it or not depends on what happens when Jerry Patterson resigns.
What are the actual chances of your getting the presidency, Alex?
So-so.
They were a lot better before those blind items started appearing in the local gossip columns.
Have you seen those things?
A lot of people have.
Personally, I've never been interested in gossip columns. What do they say?
Blind items. What married banker and radical miss who runs a storefront law office kind of junk?
They may be junk, but they're very, very damaging to Alex.
Where do they get that stuff?
Somehow I sense Harold Austin's fine Italian hand. The married part, that's really dirty pool.
How is Celia? Do you ever see her?
Yes, I go out to the sanitarium once a week.
Does she know you?
Sometimes.
Has there been any improvement at all?
No.
Alex, I'm going to talk to you like a Dutch uncle.
You never pass the physical.
You've got some strong supporters, but you're losing them. Now, even though you and Margot aren't living together, your relationship is becoming an open secret, and it's not going down very well. Not for a bank president.
What are you suggesting?
Divorce Celia? Marry Margot?
Edwina, be my friend and drop it.
Alex.
Edwina, please.
Well, all I can say is your chances of being elected president of FMA are getting worse by the day.
Well, they haven't been that good, to tell you the truth, ever since Roscoe Hayward brought in that Sonatco loan.
Sonatco?
Yeah. Why do you say it like that?
I'm recommending that my clients sell in my upcoming newsletter.
Sell?
I've got a copy here someplace. You can take it along with you if you like.
Did you say sell?
Immediately, at market.
But why, Louis? You've had it for years, a long-term hold.
A precaution. I'm uneasy about Quartermain. There's a rumor that he was in Washington shopping for a Lockheed-type subsidy. Too many other rumors.
Well, there are rumors about any company.
Negative information. And it adds up to shoal water ahead, so I'm advising my people to get out.
On rumors?
Call it an instinct. Danger. And I act on it. And do you know what I would do if I were you?
Find a first-rate financial investigator?
Exactly. Keep it. It's an advance copy of my newsletter.
If Sonatco is shaky, that's bad for Roscoe Hayward, isn't it?
Well, it's not exactly great for the bank either. We loaned those people $50 million.
But good for Alex, right?
If an investigation were to reveal that Sonatco's in trouble, it could knock Roscoe right out of the box.
Figure you'd recognize me without a carnation. Alex Vandervoort.
Vernon Jacks. You're right. I didn't have any trouble spotting you. Well, what do you recommend?
Mr. Jacks. Nothing. It's just a good place for a clandestine meeting.
You're right. It wouldn't have done for me to have been spotted down at the bank.
I like you already. This'll get you going.
This investigation is personal, then.
I couldn't very well ask for an appropriation.
But how far do you want me to go?
All the way.
Well, now, just suppose, that I come across something that you wish I'd never found.
I'll be the judge.
No, you won't.
I beg your pardon?
Your friend Margot's an attorney. Ask her about my situation, if I find any evidence of criminal activity, and conceal it.
All the way. We'll let the evidence speak for itself.
Mr. Quartermain on one.
Thank you.
Hello, George.
First for the important stuff. A certain long-legged brunette says hello. And as far as the trivia goes, I'm flying back to Amsterdam this afternoon.
Amsterdam? What's in Amsterdam?
Oh, lots of things. Mainly a chance to pick up a block of stock for a private Q Investments group.
Well, that's fine, George. That's fine.
The thing is, I'm going to need a fast $500,000.
$500,000? But I thought...
Listen, I can't say too much over this open line. But this is much too good a thing to let pass. It's bound to be a high flyer, so trust me.
Well, I do, of course. But the bank will need details.
Oh, you'll get them. By courier tomorrow. And Roscoe, don't forget, you're one of us now.
Yeah.
here. I could eat you up.
Oh, you look beautiful. You always do.
Let's have a little champagne to prolong the moment.
No, wait a minute. Why can't we just take the champagne, put it in the bedroom, and have it there?
Oh, we will. But first, darling, let's just get the business out of the way, okay?
Business? You funny thing. What business? What business are you talking about?
I've got it all written down over here.
You've got it all written down? What do you mean you've got it all written down?
Well, you go and sit down over there. Afterwards, we'll have all the time in the world for each other. Now, there's the airfare plus the taxes. That's 120. The rate on the suite is 85. The champagne plus tip was 25. So let's make it $250 and $250 for April. So let's just call it 5.
You mean you want me to give you $500?
Well, I know it's a lot of money, darling, but I'm a lot of woman.
Forgive me if I'm just a little dense, but I don't understand.
Well, what is it that you don't understand, darling?
The money.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that George had told you. The whole list has been canceled.
List? What list?
The Sunatco list. Well, everything was always charged to them. The travel, entertainment, my time.
You're telling me that I'm on some sort of VIP list that gets free treatment?
Right.
And that list has been canceled?
Right.
Any idea why?
Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of very strange things have been going on here nowadays. In fact, I was going to ask you, I was wondering if I should sell my shares.
Sunatco?
Well, I've only got 500. I know that's not very much for somebody like you, but to me, it represents about a third of my savings. Here.
No. You should tell me about Sunatco. And what other strange things have been happening?
You mean besides the cutback on entertaining?
Yes, anything. I mean, what makes you think you ought to sell your shares?
Well, let me ask you something. Now, have you talked to George Quartermain in the last week or so?
No, not since he came back from Amsterdam.
Well, nobody else has either. And do you remember Moonbeam, the little Oriental girl?
Oh, yes.
Well, she tells me that Georgie has gone to Costa Rica and may stay there, and that before he left, he sold a lot of his own Sunatco shares. So what do you think?
What?
Should I sell?
No. No. No.
I don't believe it.
That bad?
I had no idea it was like this.
In a simple declarative sentence, Sunatco is running out of money.
Well, how can that be? They own half the world.
Well, for the last 3 years, they've been surviving on prestige and credit, borrowing to pay off debts and borrowing again to pay off those debts.
And it actually works?
Works fine. Until they run out of places to borrow. When their commercial paper starts meeting investor resistance, the whole Chinese system.
How do grown-up businessmen get sucked into deals like this?
Figures get hidden.
Look at this. How'd they expect to get away with it? The Horizon Land Company.
A case in point. A Sunatco subsidiary. Now, they own big tracts of wilderness in Texas and Alaska. And what they've been doing is selling to speculators at very low down payments. Now, on 2 deals, final payments totaling $80 million are due 40 years from now. But they may never get paid. But on the balance sheet, that shows up as $80 million current earnings. And that's just one little razzle-dazzle.
How reliable are those figures?
Very reliable.
Can I go to bat with this?
There's nothing in that report that hasn't been checked through at least 2 sources. Mostly 3.
I feel like I just walked through a plate glass window.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You did a hell of a job.
I wouldn't hesitate too long in acting on this, Mr. Vandervoort. You know, Sunatco still looks pretty healthy on the outside, but it's going. And when it goes, it'll go fast.
We can save something if we move faster.
What you're asking is ridiculous.
I'm not asking, I'm telling you, do it.
You're insisting I take arbitrary action without substantial reasons.
The reasons are here.
I'd like to study this report in a less agitated environment.
Well, there's no time.
The New York stock market has already been open for 50 minutes. Now listen to me, Jerome.
No, you listen to me. I'm not going to be stampeded in this matter.
Our trust department is holding 123,000 shares of Sonatco, which we bought on an average of 52. The stock is dropping.
I'm aware of that.
Well, if we're going to salvage anything at all out of it, you better give the order to sell.
I'll call a special meeting.
There's no time. Now pick up that phone and order our trust department to sell Sonatco.
What the devil is this? Who do you think you are storming in here giving commands?
I'll tell you who I am, Jerome. I'm the one who warned you and warned the board against in-depth involvement with Sonatco. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Sonatco's going down. If we don't act, the bank can go right down with it.
Get me Mitchell and Trust. Well, break in. I hope you know what you're doing, Alex.
I hope so, too.
Mitch, Jerome Patterson, listen carefully. I want you to give a sell order immediately on all the Sonatco stock we hold. Now, that's final. What are our chances of getting out of this in one piece?
It all depends upon how long Sonatco manages to stay afloat. If they can survive a couple of months, we just might make it. Meanwhile, we better start calling in our $50 million loan. And you've got to talk to Roscoe about it right now.
I'd rather you did it.
Oh, this is a first-rate job of work. Where'd you get it?
Well, you don't seem exactly flabbergasted.
I'm not. Far from it. I've been asking a few questions myself. Only this morning I drafted a memo advising Mitchell to lighten up on Sonatco.
Well, that's not a bad idea, but the question is, what about the loan?
Oh, it's a demand loan. We can call it in at any time.
We can? 50 million? Not even a sound company keeps that kind of cash in the till.
Well, we'll see what they do have. Sonatco's in bad trouble, but the sky isn't falling yet, at least not on us.
I'm glad you think so.
There's still time to retrieve our position with a little luck, a little leverage.
I hope you're right, Roscoe.
It would surprise you if I managed to recover all or most of this loan, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Miss Callahan, get me George Quartermain.
Yes, sir.
Don't start icing the champagne yet. You're still a long way from the presidency of this bank.
They tell me they can't reach Mr. Quartermain, but Stanley Inchbeck, his assistant, is available.
I'll get him. Put him on.
Good luck.
Mr. Hayward, Stanley Inchbeck.
Inchbeck.
Roscoe, what can I do for you?
I'm trying to locate George.
He's in Costa Rica.
Oh? Well, I'd like to talk to him. Is there a number where he can be reached?
Nope. He left instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed.
Well, this is urgent.
Well, tell me.
Very well. We're calling in our loan. I'm advising you now. A formal written notice will follow in tonight's mail.
You can't be serious.
I'm entirely serious.
But why?
I think you can guess. I also believe that you wouldn't want me to go into the reasons on the telephone.
Well, your bank's being ridiculous.
Well, I'm looking at a 75-page report. At random, does the name Horizon Land Company ring any kind of a bell? The figure 80 million?
It's totally unreasonable for you people to call in the loan this way. We don't keep that kind of cash on hand. You must know that.
Well, we'd agree to a series of payments starting immediately.
But I'll talk to George. He isn't going to like this.
I'm not too happy about it myself.
And I'll get back to you.
You do that.
Roscoe?
Yes?
Are you calling in that separate loan to Q Investments? The stock's almost doubled since the Amsterdam takeover. You do remember that Amsterdam deal, don't you, Roscoe? You were very helpful.
I'll discuss it with George.
Yes? Yes, Mr. Quartermain. Just called. I'll be out of the country by midnight.
The big news in the financial world comes out of New York, where the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate Supranational, or Sonatco as it's known, has failed to open for trading with the rest of the market on the New York Stock Exchange. The reason given was, quote, an order imbalance, unquote, which is generally taken to mean that they are so swamped in sell orders that an orderly market in shares cannot be maintained. Insiders expect the Securities and Exchange Commission to announce an investigation within the next 24 hours.
Margot.
What?
The spaghetti just hit the fan.
Oh, what is it?
Sonatco just went down the drain.
All you gotta do is look after him. Keep him here. Don't let him out of your sight.
You mean I'm supposed to keep him here by force?
No, you don't need force. He's okay. He knows the score. He's an old pro.
Yeah, he smells more like an old goat.
He's been on a bender for a week. It wouldn't hurt to clean him up a little.
I really get the nice jobs around here.
Don't give him any booze. He may ask for it, but don't give him any.
Oh, what's his name?
Don't matter.
I gotta call him something.
Call him Danny.
Hello?
You know who this is, but don't use names.
Yes.
Tell our mutual friend I've discovered something important here. I might have the break we need soon. Tell him that.
All right.
I heard more than I wanted to. Is there anything I can do?
Do? Do? About what?
Oh, something's happened. Roscoe, I can always turn on the news.
All right. On my recommendation, FMA loaned $50 million to a conglomerate called Sonatco, and for some reason, I don't know why yet, it hasn't opened on the exchange this morning.
Sonatco.
Yeah.
Isn't that Quartermain person behind it?
Yeah? Yes. Quite a man. Quite a man.
Have you spoken to him?
No, but I'm expecting him to call any minute.
Please, Roscoe, stop this charade.
Charade?
I told you. I heard.
Oh, yeah, but if you'd heard Harold's end of the conversation, I mean, you wouldn't be worried.
Then you're not.
Steady as a rock.
I'm not convinced. Please, I want to help.
I don't need any help. Huh? Don't need any help.
Well, I guess I better be going. I'll be in. Board meeting, of course. And after all, I'm the vice who's going to be president.
Whatever's been wrong between us in the past, I want to help.
Really, Beatrice, I appreciate that very much, but honestly, I don't need any.
Even if you're not going to be president, we've gone this far together. We can manage. We can keep going.
Bea, I'm deeply grateful to you.
Now, what I want to know is our official attitude and just what answers I've got to give.
Are we obliged to give any?
Facts of life, Jerry. The kind of world it is, every kid with a pencil is suddenly Woodward and Bernstein. Every story's a Watergate.
You're saying it's better to be candid.
As much as possible, yes.
Look, why don't we just admit that Sonatco is in debt to us and leave it at that?
Because we're not dealing with simpletons. In among those hotshots are going to be some experienced financial reporters with a background in banking law. Now, they'll want to know how come this bank committed so much of the depositors' money to a single debtor, huh?
It wasn't a single debtor.
Yes?
It was spread out between Sonatco and 5 subsidiaries.
When you say it, Matt, try to make like you believe it.
What are you implying?
I'm not implying, I'm saying it. Let's stop kidding each other.
Look, I'm tired. I'm down there. I'm going to stand here.
Roscoe,
Please.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Roscoe. I apologize.
I don't accept your apology. It's unconscionable
We'll
to
fight
me.
a duel tomorrow. Right now, we've got a statement to frame. The keynote is optimism. Smile. FMA is fine.
So much for candor.
We can ride this out, but not if this kind of thing keeps on. And the one thing we have to fear right now above anything else is loss of investor confidence. You know, a run on any of our branches could trigger a disaster.
Are we prepared for that kind of emergency?
Sonatco's back on the board, and it's down to 16.
Roscoe.
Alex, your secretary, she says it's important.
Thank you. Mrs. Lemke. What? Yes. I'll be right back.
Excuse me, Mr. Vandervoort.
Please.
I'm Lou Endicott of the Chronicle.
I'm sorry, Mr. Endicott, not now. What's the urgent?
I didn't feel you'd want to take this call in front of the others. It's Mr. Gatwick, manager of the Alvis branch. He's waiting on line 1.
Fergus Gatwick.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Lemke.
It's a run, sir. The place is jammed with people.
Jammed? How many?
More than 100. Regular customers. They're lined up, withdrawing everything, cleaning out their accounts.
You and all your staff are to act as if there's nothing out of the ordinary, right?
Right.
Now, it's important that you pay whatever people ask for in their account. Let them have it without questions, and don't walk around looking worried. Be cheerful.
It won't be easy, sir, but I'll try.
How long can you last?
An hour. Not much more.
All right, there'll be cash coming out. Oh, and Fergus, at this moment, our entire bank is right on your shoulders, so hang on.
Yes, sir.
Computer room, Martindale.
This is Alex Vandervoort. I want the following information.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are the totals of savings and demand deposits in the Alvis branch?
Total deposits, $41,213,394.72.
Now, deduct allowance for dormant accounts and municipal accounts.
The balance is $19,782,430.11.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, notify Central Cash Vault Supervisor. $20 million to Alvis branch. Rush.
Yes, sir.
worry about.
Mr. Gatwick.
Yes, Miss Van Sachs. Morning, Steve.
Withdrawing a total of $23,000 into accounts.
These checks are good.
Sir, we haven't enough money left to pay that much.
Oh, what was that?
Just a minute, Steve. Just a minute.
You better get that money up, Gatwick, or I'm coming across this counter.
Tear this bank to pieces. There's no need for any of that. No threats or shouting either.
I've got $23,000 coming. Where is it?
Get the money out. We are experiencing a temporary cash shortage because of the exceptional demands. But I'm giving you my word that money is on the way and will be here soon.
Your word?
Yeah.
Hey, how come the bank runs out of money, huh?
Where's the cash? Forget the malarkey. Yeah! We're not going to campaign this bank pays what it owes. Now!
Once again, let me assure you that everything...
We're not interested in your assurances. We want our money now.
All right, one side, please. One side, please. Excuse me.
Mr. Gatwick?
Over here.
Oh, there you are. Well, business looks very good this morning. Sorry we're late, but traffic was heavy. Just put out on the tables, boys. Now, you said you may need $20 million? Well, 1/3 of it has just arrived. The rest is on its way.
Is that true?
Of course it's true.
You mean you've got enough money to pay all of us?
Look, despite any rumors you may have heard, our bank is sound and solvent. It has no problems which it cannot handle.
I still want my $23,000.
Well, that's your privilege. Mrs. Dorsey, over here. Mrs. Dorsey is the manager at the head branch. Edwina, will you get your people to set up the cash for distribution?
Certainly. All right, everyone, right this way, please. Mrs. Nunez, would you start right over there? Oh, Mr. Vandervoort, this is one of our loan officers.
Good. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. While we're getting ready to resume payments, I'd like to remind you that FMA is a bank. We're in the business of loaning money, so we brought one of our loan officers over from the main branch. Now, if any of you would like to talk loan to him, I'm sure you'll find him a sympathetic listener. He'll be at Mr. Gatwick's desk up front. Right this way.
I'll be right over. As soon as I get my money out, since the bank is going bust anyway, I ought to get a loan I don't have to pay back.
Mister, you borrow money from us, you pay us back, or break your other arm.
All set. Tell us we're ready to go.
All right, we're now ready for withdrawals or deposits.
No. 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 Go away.
Take it easy. Take
Go
it
away.
easy. That's all right. I'm a friend.
Where am I?
You're in the 7-7.
Those bums found me again, huh? They usually do. I'm awful sick, kid.
Yeah, I know. I got you some bromo.
No, wait. All I need is a little taste. Just one little knock.
Orders, no booze.
What we're talking about is like $40 for a half pint. Where's my dough? Where's my dough?
It's right here on the dresser.
Where's my dough?
It's right here on the dresser.
Oh. Take 3 of them 20s. All I need to make it a pint. And the change is yours.
No dice, Danny.
You know my name?
I know something else. With these 20s of yours, a man could get himself a small jolt.
What are you talking about?
Counterfeit.
What the hell is this?
Take it easy, relax. I used to work in a bank before I went to Drummondburg.
For what?
For embezzlement, 4 counts.
Drummondburg. Say, is old whatchamacallit still head screwing 6 block?
There is no 6 block.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Guess it must have been some other joint.
You know, this 20's best stuff I've ever seen.
How'd you make it, kid?
Well, you can't tell, not with the naked eye.
Yeah, pretty good, aren't they?
Good. Man who made this, he's the greatest.
You peg me, kid. It's my stuff.
You know, I've heard of you, Danny. Danny.
Kerrigan?
That's it. Danny Kerrigan. You're one of the real masters.
I've been around a while.
Oh, listen, those driver's licenses, you turned those out too, huh? Well, the reason I'm asking, I could use a couple.
I might be able to help you out.
But what about the plastics? The key charge cards?
No problem.
Oh, you must have a pretty nice setup.
The best in the West. Yeah.
I'll get you that broom. What can I do for you?
You want breakfast?
Not me.
Yeah, I'll have some.
What?
Bacon, a couple eggs boiled, 5 minutes. Toast, okay?
Key charge? You was pumping about the key charge?
That's right.
I told you I didn't trust that punk.
Where is he?
The kid, he left a few minutes ago.
Where'd he go?
He said he'd be right back.
Don't fucking piece of garbage. Where did he go?
He went to get me a pint. He said he'd be back in 5 minutes. 5.
I want him found, and fast.
You gonna be long?
Good morning. Got some real nice bananas today.
No, thank you. I just need to use your telephone.
In the back. This is a recording. Juanita Nunez speaking. If you have a message, please wait until the sound of the bell.
For NW. Urgent. Must move fast on this. Counterfeiter Danny Kerrigan at 77 Club Room 201. Holding 9 counterfeit $20 bills, 3 counterfeit driver's licenses, counterfeit key charge cards, numbered T for Tom 97374195, T for Tom 90119. Sir? No, that's all right. I'm just looking around. Oh, just wait a minute. Yeah, I will take something. How about a nice, bowling ball?
Yeah. Yeah, what was the general price range?
Oh, a nice expensive one. Over $100.
We don't have anything quite that high. Here's a very nice ball. You know, beautifully made, $45.
I'll take it.
What about the weight? Now, you see, this is 16.
The weight's fine.
Okay. Well, come on over here. I'll measure your hand for the holes.
No, that's all right. I want to get some other things. How about the carrying case? The leather one.
Oh, yeah, that's a very nice item. You know, it's all leather, you know.
Yeah, some bowling shoes, 8.5D.
8.5D, no. 8.5D. 8.5, yeah. Now, this, you know, is a very nice item because it has the perma-grip soles and the built-in arch support. Why don't you sit over there, take off your shoes?
No, that's fine. How much does that all come to?
I'll add it up. Let's see. Case is $23.75. Shoes $21.50. EMG ball $45. That's that comes to $97.62, including tax.
Well, how much are these two tennis ball cans?
Well, sure, it was him. It was him. Look, I'm gonna call Tony, see how he wants to handle it. Okay.
That's $104.95.
Oh, that's good. Good. I'll take that on my key charge card. Let's see. Here.
Would you mind waiting a moment, Mr. Lathrop?
Lathrop.
Lathrop.
No, I don't mind. I know you have to check these things out.
Yeah, just a minute.
What is your merchant number, please?
974/14.
Card number and date of expiration.
B for Brave. 1745510.
Amount of purchase?
$104.95.
The purchase is approved.
Everything all right?
Oh, everything's fine, Mr. Lathrop, huh? Lathrop.
Operations Office, Brody speaking.
Wainwright, please. This is key charge authorization.
Mr. Wainwright isn't in the office.
Well, where can I reach him?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to give out that information.
I'm calling in accordance with Emergency Order 17. The H.E. Lathrop card has been presented.
Well, that's fine. I'll get this to him right away.
Please, ladies, gentlemen, don't push. There's no need to rush.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wainwright is very busy.
Well, would you have him call Operations Office as soon as possible? It's extremely urgent. The H.E. Lathrop card has been used.
We had a few little problems up here, too.
Everyone will be taken care of. Hold it, please. Just take your time. Please, ladies, gentlemen, please.
And I'll get your bag for your things.
Milesy, baby, you make any kind of fuss, you're gonna get killed right here where you stand. Move, punk.
Lathrop. Don't you want your bowling ball?
Look, what's the problem? What's this all about? No problem. Man just wants to ask you a few little questions, that's all.
What questions?
What questions? Like, who are you working for? Who are you calling in that grocery store? Like that, huh?
Excuse me, sir. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Thank you. Please, I've come to see Mr. Vandervoort.
It's okay, officer. What are you doing here?
Oh, you know me, Calamity Jane.
Hi.
Hi. I heard on the radio.
Don't you recognize moral support when you see it?
I need all the help I can get. I only wish Ben Roselli would walk right in here.
Mrs. Dorsey.
See you.
I'm sure you've done everything he would have done.
Except one thing. You could have found a way to stop this. I'm standing here watching a banker down the tube.
That bad?
Well, if it carries over to tomorrow, we got an unstoppable run and we'll have to close.
This branch.
FMA, the whole thing. All the branches.
And then what?
Consortium of other banks will get together and pick up the pieces, but FMA as an entity will be finished. Maybe that's the way it was meant to be.
Alex! Alex!
What is it?
Well, they're getting pretty rough out there, you know. It's almost closing time. They're afraid we'll shut the door in their faces.
You have every legal right to do so.
If we do that, and we'll liable to get some people killed.
Edwina, I'll call the banks in the area and see if you can get them to stay open later. Excuse me, please. May I get through here? Thank you.
Can I have your attention, please? Listen to me. Excuse me, can I use this bench here? Look, can I have your attention, please? You're worried that we'll close the doors in your faces tonight. Well, don't. We have no intention of doing that. I give you my word. We're staying open until every last one of you has gotten your money. There's one thing I want to caution you about. Please don't carry large sums of money to keep in your homes overnight. Right now, Mrs. Dorsey is calling other banks in the area to ask them to remain open later than usual in order to accommodate you.
You recommend a good bank?
What's that?
Can you recommend a good bank?
Yes, I can. FMA. Well, you may laugh, but it's the one I know best, the one I'm surest of, and one with a long and honorable record. I only wish you all felt the same way.
I used to once.
Who said that?
I did.
What's your name?
Jack Henderson.
Come in, let him in here. Mr. Henderson, how long have you been with FMA?
30 years. And I'll tell you the truth. I don't feel too good about taking our money out.
Why do it then?
All those rumors. Too much smoke for there not to be some truth somewhere.
Well, there is some truth, and we've admitted it. Because of a loan to Sonatco, our bank is likely to suffer a loss. But the bank can withstand it, and will.
If I were younger, working, maybe I'd take a chance on you. But I'm not. This is it. It's got to last us.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Henderson,
we're sorry to lose you.
Let me ask you a question. Be honest now. If you were me, wouldn't you be doing just the same thing I am?
Yes, I think I would.
I didn't expect that much honesty. Not from a banker. Well, wish you a good day.
Wait a minute. Do you have a car?
No, but we're fine.
Oh, you're not? Not carrying a bag like that around. Nolan, this is our chief of security. Would you please see that these people get safely to a bank and then home?
No problem. I'd be happy to drive you myself.
No. Wait a minute. You'd do that for us after we just took our money out of your bank? After just as good as telling you we don't trust you anymore?
Well, let's say it's part of our service. After all, 30 years is a long time. We ought to part friends.
Let me ask you a question, man to man. Remembering that I'm not a kid anymore. And knowing what these savings mean to my wife and myself, I'm asking you, Is our money safe in your bank?
I give you my word, Mr. Henderson, this bank is absolutely safe.
Come on, Frida, let's put the stuff back.
I'll be glad to help you. We'll form a special line for all those who wish to redeposit. All those who wish to redeposit, if you just follow me, we'll
And another. The line is breaking up.
Don't forget, we're in the business of loaning money. So walk right in, please.
What's the big deal, kid? We're gonna find out what we want sooner or later.
Make it easy on yourself, Milesy, baby.
All we want to know is who your contact is. How much you know.
Oh, God, help me. No. No.
Okay.
No.
Hold his hand out flat.
No. 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 No.
Tony, you here? I got something. Hands up until I get back. Don't play with them.
Hold it.
And talk.
Wizard Warren's my name. Electronics is my game. You're Tony Bear, I presume.
Yeah.
Pleasure. I think it's going to be a pleasure for both of us.
Speak your piece. Is that thing still on?
No, not yet. You, sir, are a professional criminal.
What?
I am not. I have a long list of clients, and I provide guaranteed protection that their homes and their office premises will not be bugged or their phones will not be tapped.
What's all this about?
A week ago, I was making a routine anti-bug survey at the 77 Health Club.
Did you find something?
But all work and no pleasure. So I bugged your phone line. The payphone on the main floor. It's simple to splice across the circuit. We caught it hidden in the basement.
You bugged me.
Yeah, most of the things I hear are none of my business, but this time I figured it was a little different.
What did you get?
Don Roberto is a client.
Okay. You're safe. How much?
After you hear the tape, whatever's fair.
Okay.
Hello?
You know who this is, but don't use names.
Yes.
Tell our mutual friend I've discovered something important here. I might have the break we need soon. Tell him that.
All right.
That kid's voice.
You sat on that tape for a week?
Only to find out some other things I thought you'd want to know.
Like what?
The number that was called?
Mrs. Nunez?
Yes?
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I'm a friend of a friend, Marcy.
Oh, is there something wrong?
Could be. He's out here in back. He's got to talk to you. Yeah. He doesn't want to be seen, you understand?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Miles, I got some people here for you.
Have you heard anything?
Harold. Harold.
You haven't heard anything?
I haven't. I haven't. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You said you were going to get in touch with him yourself, remember? You do remember our telephone conversation this morning, don't you? You told me you just talked with Inchbeck.
Roscoe,
Damn it! You're the one who introduced me to the great George Quartermain.
What are you blaming me for that?
I can hardly thank you for it.
I was just doing you a favor.
What it's just turned into the biggest disaster the bank has had in its entire history, for which I'm held responsible.
You're not the only one who came out badly in this. For your information, I put my entire family trust into Sinatco. Between that and Q Investments, I'm ruined.
What did you say? What about Q Investments?
You haven't heard?
If I had, I wouldn't be asking you what about Q Investments.
What have he done in it before he left? What he's done in it? All we've got left is shares in nothing. It's paper.
He left?
Yes. Yes.
For where?
I don't know.
For where?
Nobody knows.
You don't even know where he went.
I don't know.
Well, what about Inchbeck?
The money, the real
Damn
money.
it, what about Inchbeck?
The money, it could be anywhere. It's in Costa Rica, it's in Switzerland, it's in the Bahamas. It's gone. Roscoe, you gotta help me get my money back. I mean, if you don't, I'm finished. I'm broke.
There's no way I can help you, Harold.
Well, if there's anything new that comes up, if there's any hope, you...
If there is, I'll let you know. First thing out here, I'll let you know.
Excuse me, Mr. Hill.
Yes. What is it, Miss Callahan?
There's a reporter outside to see you. Mr. Endicott from the Chronicle.
Well, tell him to go and call PR. I have nothing to say to him.
But I already told him that.
Well, tell him again.
Mr. Hayward, he said it's about a Miss Avril Devereaux.
Send him in.
Yes, sir.
I want to apologize for disturbing you. I have some questions.
Yes, you told my secretary.
I thought there were some things that you'd prefer me to check with you personally before I print them.
I can give you 5 minutes, that's all.
Yes, the fact is I've been doing a research job in Sinatco for the past 6 months.
You told me you have some questions.
About this Sinatco loan. When did George Quartermain first bring it up? Do you remember?
I'm afraid I don't. I deal in many large loans.
Couldn't be too many for $50 million.
I've already answered your question. I told you I don't remember.
Maybe I can help. Was it in the Bahamas?
Yes, it might have been.
And you traveled down there in Mr. Quartermain's private jet?
Yes.
With a number of lady escorts?
I'd hardly call them that. There were some stewardesses on the plane.
And one of them was Miss Avril Devereaux?
Yes, I'm almost sure of it. That was one of the names.
Mr. Hayward, excuse me for putting it this way, but was Miss Devereaux offered to you sexually in return for your sponsorship of the Sinatco loan?
That's an insult. That's not a question. I think you better go.
You know, it's only fair to tell you that when I was doing the Sinatco research, I made some contacts inside the organization. Miss Devereaux was one of them. I talked to her this morning. She's very cooperative.
In what way?
She supplied us with all the details of her meetings with you, including the name of the hotel, room 813. The maid has recognized a picture of you.
I see.
Miss Devereaux also mentioned 2,000 shares of Q Investments that she gave you for George Quartermain.
I have no comment.
Were those shares given to you as a payoff for engineering the Sonatco loan and further loans totaling $2 million for Q Investments?
I told you I have no comment.
Then the article goes as is.
Article?
It runs tomorrow. Try not to miss it.
Endicott. I'm curious about Miss Devereaux. Were you good friends?
Not particularly.
And why did she tell you all these things?
For money?
You can move it out. The truck's in the back.
Oh, Mr. Wainwright. Got a message for you.
How long have you had this?
Quite a while. I'm afraid it slipped my mind during the... I hope it's not too important.
Let's get going.
Wainwright, it's our unit at Forum East on 3.
What about Nunez?
We're in her apartment right now. No sign of her or the baby.
Any sign of a struggle?
No, but one of the kids in the project says he thinks maybe he saw her getting into a truck.
Light blue panel truck?
That's right.
See if they got a license number.
We'll check around.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes?
Isn't there a tape unit by the phone?
Yes, right here.
We'll check the messages.
Can do.
For NW, urgent. Must move fast on this. Counterfeiter Danny Kerrigan at 77 Club, room 201.
Little man, I'm looking for some people. You gonna help me? Do I throw you out the window?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Get out of here, Timber. Well, I'm not a cop.
Well, I am.
Look, I don't intend to shoot you unless it's absolutely necessary. I just want to impress on you I'm serious. Now, get out of my face.
All right, Nolan. Sure.
All right, Maggot, where were we?
Inspectors 19 were cruising east on Carondelet. We got the house in sight. There's a moving van in the driveway. Looks like they're getting ready to take off. Over.
Very good, 19. Keep them under surveillance. We'll let you know when the rest of the units are in place. Give us 15 minutes.
So long, gentlemen.
Where are they? Where are they?
Look what they did to him.
Call an ambulance.
Just did. Give you a hand.
No! It's my job.
you coming?
Good night, sir.
Goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Vandervoort, Mr. Hayward's already left.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Hayward, he went out the exit door.
Roscoe, did you hear what happened to the run on the Elvis branch? We stopped it dead in its tracks. That's what we did. Now, don't tell me that's not going to make good headlines, huh? Sinatco's going to be ancient history. Roscoe, no. No, Roscoe, don't do it. Don't do it, Roscoe. No mistake is that big. To hell with this fight for power. We can work it out. Look, we'll work it out together. We need you, Roscoe.
Hello? Just a moment, please. It's Mr. Patterton for you.
Jerry? I know that you're shook up about Roscoe,
And you've had a rough day or two, but what I have to say can't wait.
I'm listening.
There's been a caucus of the directors. A meeting of the full board's been called for noon tomorrow. The first order of business will be to accept my resignation. The second will be to elect you president.
Right now, Jerry, I don't want the job.
There was a feeling you might say that. And I'm pleading with you to help us out of this mess we've got ourselves into.
Let me sleep on it. We'll talk about it in the morning. Okay.
Now, why did you accept? You know you're going to.
No, I'm not so sure. If I do, I'll insist on a free hand to make changes. Changes on the board. Reevaluate the key charge program. And put the Forum East housing project back on track.
I can't see them fighting you.
And something else.
Celia, people will talk. I'm going to live with it and deal with it.
Are you asking me to move in with you?
Mm-hmm.
Fly in the face of convention? All that sort of stuff?
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Coming up next on Showtime, Glenn Close narrates Washington Irving's immortal tale of a doomed schoolteacher, Ichabod Crane. In a storybook classic, it's the legend of Sleepy Hollow.